One of the most widely accepted theories about the origin of the universe posits that the universe originated from a single starting point, carrying the entire potential of the vast cosmos as we can observe it today. Before this, there was nothing, or this nothingness had existed for a very long time, from which the universe was born. Alternatively, the state of pure nothingness was a very brief moment, seen from the dimension of time. It is in human nature to think that everything has a beginning and an end and that it must have been created or intended by someone. This is where physics meets religion or metaphysics and philosophical questions. Today, we address the big questions about the existence of nothingness and the creator from the perspective of quantum mechanics. But first, we would like to invite you to contribute to our channel and leave us a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. The theory of the birth of the universe from nothing is one of the few things we know for sure about the nature of the cosmos. One of these few facts is that the universe is expanding. If something is moving away, it must be moving away from a point, according to the laws of mechanics. Astronomers can tell that the universe is expanding thanks to the so-called cosmic background radiation, which is thought to be a remnant of the universe's starting point, namely the Big Bang. So far, observations indicated that the universe was expanding linearly. Based on these observations, researchers have come to three possible future scenarios for the universe. The Big Freeze predicts that space, driven by dark energy, will continue to expand until it has lost all energy. All the stars will have burned out, and even black holes, after having sucked in all matter, will run out. Unfortunately, the Big Rip does not paint a much more colorful picture. According to this theory, in fact, the universe will end up splitting when it has expanded excessively. The Big Crunch predicts that the cosmos will contract like an elastic band when the gravitational forces of celestial bodies have been excessively stretched. If we know more about the end of the universe, we might draw new conclusions about the beginning and phases of nothingness. Meanwhile, science predominantly presumes that our universe originated from a precursor cosmos. Ideas such as the one that before the beginning of the universe there was much or nothing, and that this state was resumed after the end of the current universe, no longer fit modern physics. Imagine a scenario where a last super black hole, the last existing matter in the cosmos, sucks itself in, then collapses. It could also be said that everything that was decays into nothingness or passes into a state of neutrality. There is absolute silence, or maybe not, because according to current realizations of quantum mechanics, nothingness cannot exist at all. Nothingness as a potential for rest. Anyone looking at the cosmos might think that among the stars, black holes, galaxies, or cosmic nebulae there are gigantic empty spaces. In the past, this idea was really very widespread. Today, we know for sure that there really is nothing between celestial bodies. Rather, it's a bit like for us on Earth. You look at the material appearances and between them there is apparently nothing, but it is not so. This everyday nothingness that surrounds us is full of gases, like the oxygen we breathe and the carbon dioxide we exhale. In this nothingness there are electromagnetic waves, radio and ultraviolet rays, and much more. The same is true for the apparent nothingness of the cosmos. What seems empty is actually full of dark matter, of invisible structures, and probably many other secrets that we have not yet deciphered. For a long time, the existence of an absolute vacuum in the cosmos was hypothesized, but these theories have wavered since quantum mechanics began to take hold. Since then, we know that the primordial basis of all matter and creation, which we long thought was nothing, is a quantum potential constantly subject to minimal fluctuations. Quanta, to remember, are particles of light considered the fundamental building blocks of our cosmos. Perhaps you will remember the most famous quantum models. One of these is the double-slit experiment, which revealed that quanta have an undefined potential until they are measured or observed. After that, they take on the form of a particle, that is, of something visible. In the undefined state, quanta are pure potential. They are nothing but also not something. To understand the theories of nothingness, the creator of nothingness, and the impossibility of nothingness, it is worth re-examining the most common scenario of the end of the world. The universe has run out. Black holes have gradually sucked up all material phenomena and others. Today, pure energy and information are considered the true building blocks of the cosmos. Einstein had already said that energy is the basis of everything. It can neither be created nor destroyed. In the end, a residual black hole has gathered in itself all the information and all the energy. The potential that has moved away for billions of years comes together again in one point. This way, an effective balance is initially achieved that neutralizes all the residual energy. You can imagine it as if two particles neutralize each other. An energetic charge is thus almost dissolved or united. However, since energy can never be completely destroyed, there is always a residual energetic potential. This can be like the quantum wave, undefined and therefore, in a strict sense, nothing in terms of a material aspect. But there is something, an eternal quantum fluctuation. Exactly this is equated today to the original state, the vacuum or nothingness. Again, in this non-state there is no defined matter or even anything visible. There exists a pure potential of energy and information, and this can transform again into something through a process known in physics as the minimum quantum of action or minimal fluctuation. The end is the beginning of a universe. We return to the end, which most likely represents at the same time a new beginning. The last black hole has collapsed, leaving nothing but an undefined potential, a shallow but balanced quantum fluctuation, so that the state remains one of non-formation of matter. You might also imagine it a bit like a thin carpet of light waves. But the light in this carpet or potential is so small that we cannot see it with our eyes. The potential moves in an extremely low range of energy. Einstein called the field that contains all potentials also the zero-point field. Its energy is not measurable with today's methods. However, Einstein already suspected that in this field there was a huge energetic potential that we are yet to understand. Thus, this carpet fluctuates before itself and would be nothing to our eyes, dark, not measurable, non-existent. Then comes the most interesting point. With a minimal shift in the minimal movements of this fluctuation, the new creation is triggered. Before this event, the fluctuations of the quanta always balanced themselves and maintained the undefined potential stable. Then, somewhere, a minimal deviation occurs. The compensation toward further neutrality can no longer occur. At this point, the potential crumbles respectively and, thanks to the minimal deviation, a starting point is created, a chain reaction occurs, and what we know today as the Big Bang happens. The quantum carpet gives life to a new creation suddenly, and the potential that was undefined starts again with the formation of matter. Based on this model, however, it is noted that around the point where matter begins to form, there is nothing but an undefined and neutral potential. Does a creator, or a creator of nothing, exist? Now we know, from quantum mechanics, that the indefinite waves start to become particles and thus matter when they are measured or observed. The observer, who provides the minimal deviation that causes creation, might thus be something akin to a creative intelligence, or even a god. At this point, three currents of science that have always been united in antiquity and separated only in modern times, physics, metaphysics or religion, and philosophy, meet again. In metaphysics, terms like eternity and infinity are common. Here it is even hypothesized that there might be an eternal being where nothingness can only be a brief temporary state. Metaphysics also admits views according to which something akin to a creator of wine might exist, but this escapes human or scientific definition. Creation and nothingness can be experienced and lived according to metaphysics, but not with the mathematical means currently known and described. Philosophy, on the other hand, deals with the question of the pure being of man. Who are we? Clearly, you and I are here. I speak and you listen. If you look out the window, you also see much of what is. The idea of nothingness and non-being comes out especially with the theme of death. According to dualism, if being exists, non-being, or nothingness, must also exist. We do not know if this is true or not. There are many spiritual traditions in this world that claim that all being and all creation are subject to eternal cycles. The death of a human being, or even of a universe, is always also a birth. Indeed, the image of a cyclic universe is slowly gaining ground even in physics. This would mean, returning to our end point of universe, that immediately after the collapse of the last black hole, a new universe is created from the same temporary nothingness or pure undefined potential. The beginning, or creative impulse, would be according to these ideas already contained in the endpoint of the old cosmos, just as it was contained in all the end and beginning points of all previous universes. From where, or from whom, does this creative impulse now come? And who has created, guided, maintained the potential of the 0 point? These are questions that we cannot answer from a scientific standpoint today, but perhaps you have an idea. Who or what, in your opinion, is the real driver of the universe? Do you believe in something like a god, or in the eternal cycles of the cosmos that possess some sort of impersonal momentum? Let us know. Share your opinion with us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. We thank you for watching and wish you an enjoyable experience.